St.Jude.com. Give them a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
PhilsGang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. And there's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Here comes a new president, new beginnings, and new hopes, which can also bring volatile times. Many investors get spooked and begin to question their investments. But the thing to realize is that market volatility is inevitable, and it's a great opportunity to get in the stock market. No one at philsgang.com will tell you when the market correction is coming, and we will not promise you you're going to get rich, but we will guarantee you a good night's sleep. At philsgang.com, our number one goal is to inform investors who want to learn and invest in the stock market. We provide daily investment teaching strategies and the analysis of charting the stock market. You are informed around the clock with market webinars, market updates, working investor programs, and financial updates throughout the day. Plus, you'll enjoy the Phil's Gang customer service. Be prepared for market volatility and make profits with philsgang.com. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? You know, reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. We're a teaching format, and boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated, so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Consumer spending appears to be expanding at a moderate pace, driven by solid income gains.
Solid income gains, 0.1% of 1%. Are you out of your mind? Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. You know, we have a real problem in this country. We keep on putting in charge these academics. Look what happened with Bernanke. He told us he believed never would housing prices in this country ever drop. Remember that? Right before the crash. The press asked me, the press asked me, do you think prices will drop? No, of course not. Never, not in this country. The problem with these academics, including Obama, they don't have a bit of common sense. They're so smart, they're stupid. The people Larry Summers, a professor from Harvard, who became Treasury Secretary for Bill Clinton. So stupid. This guy destroyed our country by getting rid of the Glass-Steagall Act. He destroyed the world by putting up these phony derivatives. And he has the nerve to show up on CNBC in the morning or other financial shows and walks on. He should be hiding somewhere. He destroyed 30 million jobs throughout the world. His derivatives went throughout the world. He destroyed the world's economy. And they make him president of Harvard again. It's unbelievable, the stupidity of these people. Janet Yellen talking about the consumer. Are you kidding me? Consumers doing great? Where's she getting that from?
We've been on a roll in this economy. We've been creating a lot of jobs. Looks like all the ingredients are in place for the consumer to do well here. Retail consumer back in this market? Are they interested in this market now that the Dow is soaring again?
They seem to be, and consumer spending's been strong for a long time.
It hasn't been strong for a long time. It's been terrible. Terrible. It's just total lies. In fact, the amount of debt and credit cards have gone down. Gone down because they're not spending. Look, we're told over and over how wonderful the economy is, how wonderful the spending is, how strong the consumer is. How do you really know? Well, it's quite simple. It's quite simple to find the information, just like jobs. They lie to us about jobs every first Friday of the month. Just total lies. All you have to do is go to the greatest resource in the world, where the Fed, where they take your taxes, the withholding tax. I mean, everybody's paid taxes. And if you go and you find what you'll find out in 8 years, in 8 years Obama was in office, if you go to the withholding tax, okay, to Social Security and go to the withholding tax office, you'll find that the day he started in office, went into the White House, the day he left, there's a net loss of 500,000 jobs. 8 years, he did not create one job. One job he did not create. One net positive job. That's the truth. Because you get the number off the withholding tax. Everybody pays taxes. But here's another thing. Everybody told us this recovery is really a great recovery. We never had a recovery. It's not true. There's been no recovery. Now, if that was the case, we had a recovery, why is it that the demand for gasoline is at a 5-year low? See, gasoline demand identifies how strong the consumer really is. So when I hear them talk about how strong the consumer is, they're lying. Gasoline identifies how strong the consumer is, just like pallets. Just like pallets. We talked about that the other day when I was a kid. I had this little pallet company. I was like 20, 21 years old. And I built these pallets out of scrap wood, and I sold them all over the country. And people, what happened is you sell a pallet, and companies need the pallet to pile on their goods. Forklift comes in, picks it up, and loads it on a truck, and the truck takes off with it. Well, gasoline is the same thing. It identifies how strong the consumer is. If the pallets of my pallet business was going down, I was selling 50% less pallets than I did the year before, the consumer was down. Same as my pallet business. Same as gasoline. Gasoline identifies how strong the consumer is doing. And the current economy, how it's doing. So we have dropped to 8.2 million barrels a day of gasoline. That means the consumer is really sick. The consumer is really ill. The economy is really weak. We did not have a recovery. So just look at the real numbers. Gasoline. Now then you look at productivity. It indicates the strength of the wages. And guess what productivity is showing us? Wages suck. They're so weak. It's incredible. And why are wages weak? You just go look at capital investment. If CEOs are not taking their profits or money they borrow and plow it back into capital investments and new machinery and so forth, so then that means that they don't produce more. If you have old machinery, old technology, you don't produce more. If you produce more by the CEOs investing, then that means your wages go up. Your wage increase has to do with productivity, how much you produce. The better equipment, the better technology, the more you produce, the more wages you get, and the more hiring goes on. So productivity is terrible. Now you measure the durable goods that are supposed to be produced, goods that last 3 years, 4 years or longer, big items like TVs and so forth. Now, durable goods also measures the manufacturer's shipments. It measures their inventories, their orders, including planes. You know the durable goods suck. So weak, it's incredible. Really bad. Really bad. And the other thing about the durable goods, it identifies the economy going forward. It identifies how strong the economy is going forward. So your productivity identifies how bad your wages are right now. The gasoline identifies how bad the economy is. Your durable goods identify going forward what your economy is going to look like, and it's really bad. And trade deficits, that's another one. It measures how healthy your economy is. And the trade deficit is getting weaker and terrible. The trade deficit, keeps growing. The deficit keeps bigger and bigger and bigger. We're at like 50 billion. That means we lose jobs. The bigger the deficit, the more jobs we lose. Because that means we are importing everything instead of building stuff and exporting it. And the weak dollar, finally, always tells you how weak the economy is, how strong the economy is. Are you kidding me? The weak dollar, every time you have a weak dollar, it kills you. Because with a weak dollar, it increases the price of the oil we buy. Just like in 2008. It went up to $150 a barrel. Gasoline went to $4 a gallon. That caused the real estate and financial bubble to implode, to collapse. We lost 9 million jobs. 10 million homes went on the block, foreclosed. So those are the things that you look at. So everything you look at, gasoline demand, productivity, durable goods, trade deficit, the weak dollar, all point to what? Economy that sucks. And they turn around and they tried to lie to you and try to tell you things are good. That's amazing, isn't it? Especially CNBC. Why? Because their advertisers are who? The car companies, right? The big car companies, the tourist companies, the hotels. They don't want you to be saying things that are that are bad. They want you out there. They want these people on CNBC telling you how great things are. So you go out and buy a car. Oh, cars and student loans are dragging this economy right down. $2 trillion in debt. We'll be right back. Take a look at some stocks here on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profit.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profit.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Best 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Best is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, let me give you my number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, so you can join the gang anytime during this show. It's only $39.95. And I think it's the best value on this earth, okay, because we teach charting. And no, it's not sitting in a class like algebra. Very, very simple. One chart just tells you when to buy, when to sell. That's it. So simple. Color-coded. It's a color-coded chart using color-coded technology. It will follow the institutions like the Vanguard and the BlackRock and the T. Rowe Price and the Bank of New York Mellon. That's who buys stocks. That's what makes your stock go up. That's what makes your stock go up. So here's the number, 877-600-GANG. That's how we know how to buy a stock. Give you an example. This is interesting. Listen to this. Listen to Kramer telling here, listen.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy, baby.
Last 3.
Hey, Jimmy, like old pals.
Hey, Jimmy. I have AutoZone last 3-4 months, and last week you said you thought it was a good buy, time to buy in. What are your thoughts this week?
I am not relenting on this. This is all about Amazon saying I want to get into the auto parts retailing business.
Who cares? So she bought it. She said for 3 months.
Hey, Jimmy, I have AutoZone last 3-4 months.
Last 3-4 months, she got her clock cleaned. Got her clock cleaned. AutoZone dropped 11%. So she listened to Jimmy because, they're going to get into the oil business. That's not why you buy a stock. Who cares what they're going to do? You don't even want to know what the company does. You're better off not even knowing what the company does. Look at this. AutoZone went up, and I'll give you the number right here. AutoZone started to go up, went up about. AutoZone went up about. I'll give you the number. Went up from about $752, and then it went $752, and it turned red about $805. So that's about 11%, I guess. So about 11%. Then it turned red. It turned red on December 28th. Now remember, it turned green. It turned green on November 11th. It turned red on December 28th. This is key. It turned red. That's the important part. So you're up 11%, and it's telling you the institutions, the hedge funds, the biggest banks are pulling their money out. And it dropped about 11% again. So she's stuck in this thing losing money after it went up. Let's say she said 4 months. So let's see, 4 months. Yeah, she would have caught the ride on the way up. And she gave it all back and then some. All back and then some. Because she didn't have a chart to identify when to get out. That's the important thing about investing. You got to get a plan. You got to have a plan. When am I going to get in? When am I going to get out? Well, you're going to listen to a planner? You're going to listen to your stockbroker? You're going to listen to Jim Cramer? Don't listen to any of them. Don't even listen to me. Just look at the chart. Isn't that amazing? Here's another one. This is another one. Listen to this.
Time for the final trade. Yes, GM earnings today a little disappointing for some. I reaction down 5% was really over. I'm going to let it shake out for a day or two, but then I'm going to be buying more right here.
What an idiot. Now she's saying she's going to be buying more. Let it shake out. No, you wait till you get a buy signal. So somebody's going to listen to her, because she's on TV. She's supposed to be an expert, and they're going to start buying because she said she's going to buy. Now, if you're with me, you would be buying when? When we see Bank of New York Mellon buy, J.P. Morgan buy, Franklin Resources buy, hedge funds buy, insurance companies buy. They all buy at the same time, and then it turns green. So they're going to get in. So somebody's going to get in, just like this poor girl on AZO. She didn't know when to get out. She didn't know when to get out. I mean, I'm looking at this right now. It's amazing. What she gave up that gain because she didn't know when to get out. Doesn't that drive you crazy? And that's why most people leave the stock market. They always make money going up. They just don't know when to get out. And by the way, that's another thing. Just because a stock goes up, like this stock went up today. It went from 720 to 741, AZO. But it's red. It's telling you, don't buy it. It's red. Because it's telling you the institutions aren't buying it. They're just buying their position back. They're making money. So if the institutions made $20,000 selling it short, they have to buy it to pick up their cash. It shoots the stock up. If it was green, it'd tell you they're buying because they're putting new money in. But because it went up from 715 to 741 and stayed red, it's telling you don't put your money in. They're just covering their short position. Isn't that a beautiful thing? You didn't have to contact anybody. Nothing. You do this with any stock. It just upsets everybody in the world should have this thing. So, we talked. This is what really drives me, just gets me so grumpy. Did anybody catch Elizabeth Warren? Anybody catch? Yesterday we played. These are the people who take care of us. Yesterday we Waters. This was Waters. She thinks Putin is invading Korea.
And the fact that he is wrapping his arms around Putin while Putin is continuing to advance into Korea.
Yeah, into Korea. Then we got Elizabeth Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas, who lied to get a job, the professorship at Harvard. She wanted to teach, and she jumped ahead of 124 applicants because I'll figure this out, she says. I'll screw everybody. I'll lie. I'll tell them I'm an Indian. I'm part Indian, I'm part Cherokee, I'm part Cherokee. So she jumps ahead, and they buy into it. Harvard! It's supposed to be where the smartest of the smart of the smart. These dopes at Harvard bought into it. Larry Summers, who was the reason you lost your house, came from Harvard. These educators are unbelievable how stupid they are. Aunt B rallies up the interest rates. That's going to kill us. But what drives me nuts is that when they are complaining about the people that Trump is putting in his cabinet and in the White House, but look at the people that Obama put in his cabinet. Are you in the White House? Are you nuts? We'll be right back after this break. Join my gang. Get my chart. 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Let me ask you, Could you use a little extra money? Well, of course you could. Everybody could use that extra revenue to pay the bills, pay down debt, or save for retirement. With PhilsGang.com, we help you make that extra income in the stock market. For over 15 years, Phil Grandy and the PhilsGang.com team have helped folks who are interested in learning short-term and long-term investing by providing professional-level charting skills and strategies. PhilsGang.com is your #1 source to learn, invest, and profit in the stock market. And you can do this for only $39.95 a month. With PhilsGang.com, you learn how to invest in the market. You get daily investment coaching guidance, and you will learn to invest and trade with the skills and confidence of the pros. Just log on and get daily investment instructions and make profits. Plus, all PhilsGang.com material is archived for your convenience. Go to PhilsGang.com to join or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Call today.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of PhilsGang.com. We're a teaching format, and boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. PhilsGang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, my name is Phil Grandy, PhilsGang.com. You know the stock market goes up 72% of the time? Then why is it that the retail customer, 80% of the time, have lost money? Because they don't know when to get out. And that's why I'm providing a product called my MV2 chart that solves that problem. It's always about when do I get out? That problem has been solved. Check it out, my MV2 chart. Don't miss it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at PhilsGang.com. You're probably familiar with a pillow commercial that's everywhere. It's on TV. And wherever you put it, get the pillows, this new pillow that's out. You know what? You don't need a pillow for good night's sleep. You want to make sure your investments are safe. That's where you get the good night's sleep. And that's what you get here at Phil's Gang with our technology. It's built in to show you when your stock is ready to fail, when your stock is ready to rally. That's right, it follows the money. You don't need a pillow. You need Phil's Gang. That's how you get a good night's sleep. You'll always know well in advance if the market's going to collapse or your stock. Join my gang, philsgang.com. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend, and Phil Grandy can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grandy.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember, in buying a stock, it's all about following the money. It's always following the money. Everything's about following the money. You want to find a crook? Follow the money. Talking about the crook, we're talking about Elizabeth Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas, who lied about she was half Cherokee or quarter Cherokee or whatever she was, Cherokee. And she got the job at Harvard to get ahead of everybody else. Now, man, can you see her in an Indian outfit? Boy, that'd be a terrible sight, wouldn't it? Anyways, this woman is the biggest crook, the biggest phony in the world. The biggest phony. And she's complaining all about Trump, right? And last night she went on to spiel. I may not have time today, but I'll play it for you, I hope. How bad Trump is and everything else. But that's what she did. She's a phony. She started a phony consumer protection agency. Phony. The agency was created and she put it under this Dodd-Frank Act. Now, she said it's to serve and protect the poor, the very poor, okay, from financial fraud. From financial fraud. And she was creating the biggest financial fraud when she created it. The Consumer Fraud Agency was a fraud. The Consumer Protection Agency was the biggest fraud ever. Here's what she did. She decided that she would, okay, take this agency. She was so sneaky, and she deliberately set her agency inside the Federal Reserve so she could hide it away from us so we can't see it. Because when it's in the Federal Reserve, we cannot look at anything. So she put it underneath the Federal Reserve. It then became one of the most unaccountable agencies in the federal government next to the Fed itself. You can't get the books, you can't get anything on this thing. She was so clever that what she was using this for was almost like a PAC. It was to set up her own base, her own political base, to pay off her friends and to hire her friends and to build a political base so when she runs for president one day. She wasn't trying to protect anybody. She was trying to build her base. So here's what she did. The reason when she put it under the Federal Reserve, she was allowed to pay people incredible wages. Yeah, she was paying wages to these people, a couple $100,000 a year, $259,000 a year. She was paying more money. Her people were getting paid more money than Senator Mitch McConnell was getting at $193,000, or Chuck Schumer at $223,000. So she was setting up all these people. It can't be audited. It can't be nothing. It's hidden. This is just a crime. It's a crime. And it's underneath the Frank Dodd rule. Protect everybody. That's just incredible. It's just incredible. That's who these people are. And they get out there and they try to tell us Trump is no good and Trump's appointments are no good. Just like Larry Summers. Just like Larry Summers. He, after he blew up using his derivatives, 30 million he was responsible for 30 million people around the world to lose their jobs, 10 million people here in the U.S., our national debt to double, and 12 million people to lose their homes, all with these phony derivatives. Right? So guess who brings him into his White House? Obama. And Geithner, who with Larry Summers set up these crooked derivatives. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's just amazing. Just like he says he's a liar. Listen to this.
Quantitative easing, do you truly believe it's worked?
I don't think there's any question that the Fed's efforts to provide liquidity to the markets made a huge difference.
Yeah, made a huge difference to who? To the smallest segment of the population, people like him, who, by the way, he made $20 million. After he set up the derivatives, nobody understood what the hell a derivative was. So he sets up so he goes around and he charges banks and everybody else to explain what they are. And he picked up $20 million in speaking engagements to explain to the bankers what derivatives were because they're so complicated they didn't understand them. But he never went to jail. Never went to jail. So the 1 percentile, the QE didn't help you, didn't help me, didn't help Main Street. We were lied to. They said, okay, if we put $3.3 trillion into stock market, we'll front load the stock market. We'll give $3.3 trillion to the banks that go buy stocks to push stocks up without profits. We'll print another $6 trillion, give it to the companies to buy their own shares, push the stock up further again with no earnings, with no profits. And as a matter of fact, it was called prosperity without profits. And then, so between the $6 trillion to buy their own shares, the $3 trillion they bought stocks, bought stocks. They printed $85 billion a month to buy bonds to make sure the yields, the interest rate went so low, they were so unattractive that all the countries who buy bonds got out of the bond market and went into the stock market, moving the market up 230%. But no, Main Street did not Main Street did not benefit. It was the 1 percentile who 80% of their income is from the stock market because they're in the market all the time, like George Soros and Buffett and the rest of it. He's a liar. You know, what's interesting when you go back and look at these derivatives and what has happened is Trump is on the right path. He's got to put back in place the Glass-Steagall Act. The biggest problem was when Reagan came out, and Reagan wanted to deregulate the savings and loans, because when the peanut farmer was done, Jimmy Carter, he killed the economy, just like Obama did. So when Reagan got in 1981, he said, we got to get banks loaning again. We got to get banks loaning again. Well, you can't under Glass-Steagall, okay? Your banks are really tight, okay? And when they loan money to people, remember, they couldn't sell it. They couldn't sell the mortgages. They couldn't sell the mortgage to Fannie and Freddie. They had to hold the mortgage paper themselves. So he says, look, Glass-Steagall, after the crash, it was identified in 1929. The reason why the market crashed, because the savings and loan banks, what they're doing is using depositors' money to go out and speculate with, to put out into risky loans. And then the big investment bankers like J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bear Stearns, they also could take their depositors' money and put it out in speculative deals. Remember, before the Glass-Steagall Act, okay, during the Glass-Steagall Act, if you had J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all they did is they're going to do a deal, they set up little private investment groups, and their own money was in that deal. So if they invested in Phil's gang, it was their own money invested in Phil's gang, not the depositors' money. When they got rid of the Glass-Steagall Act, which Larry Summers did, Rubin did, Geithner did, now they could start all over again. They could use the depositors' money to do wild deals because it wasn't their money anymore. And that's why that, and then they said, we'll build these phony derivatives and tell everybody that, oh, look at, we're going to take these mortgages and sell them to you, and we're going to give you a derivative. It's like an insurance policy. So if they go bad, don't worry about it. You got the derivative to cover you. Well, guess what? They weren't regulated. So there's no money to cover it. So all these derivatives, people thought they were covered. And when he was selling these mortgages, the pensions all over the world, and the pensions were buying these subprime mortgages, they thought they were covered if they went bad. They all went, and when they all started to go bad, they started to go bad first in Iceland. And it just tumbled and tumbled. And all of a sudden, Larry Summers was a big phony. It didn't cover anything. It didn't cover anything. So we had the biggest crisis. We got to put back in the Glass-Steagall Act that says, again, you cannot use depositors' money in a reckless way to invest. You can't use depositors' money. Simple as that. Whether you're J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, or your loan and savings. Oh, by the way, the difference with, remember the Lincoln Savings, Keating? That's the one that blew up in 1985. Remember, that's how the savings loan blew up? Remember, right before that, it was 1985. Greenspan was part of Reagan's cabinet, and Keating says to calls Greenspan, said, "Would you give me a letter? The regulators are all over me. Write a letter saying that you looked at my books and everything's fine." He got, in today's dollars, he's got $500,000 to write that letter for Keating for Lincoln Savings. He sent it over to the regulators. Of the 11 regulators, the bank rate, 9 went to work for Lincoln Savings. 5 years later, it blew up.
For more information on this show, go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time, real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format, and boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated, so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Best 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Best is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what Max Best does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend, and Phil Grandy can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grandy.
And welcome to my gang. Remember, join my gang. It's $39.95. $39.95 is terrific value. And for people who don't want to do a thing, who's so busy, please join. I can help you. I want you to think about this. Assume you're making $50,000 a year and you're 25 years old. And let's say, I don't know, you're getting an annual growth rate on your income wherever you're investing, say a 401k, and I'm going to really go wild, 3%, which you're not getting after expenses. You're lucky to get 0.5%. But let's say 3%. And you want $1 million to retire when you're age 65. All right, so you're earning $50,000, you're age 25, you think you get a 3% annual growth rate on your investment, and you want $1 million time you retire. Do you know that's impossible? You're going to have to save about 14% of your income. How can anyone, especially if they're married, save 14% of their income? $50,000, take your taxes out, take your rent out, take all your living expenses out, take your health insurance out, and your kids, and there's no way. That's why 401ks don't work, because everybody jumps in and they have to use their money out. They have to borrow from their 401k. It's mostly medical, right? It's impossible. So anytime you see these ads, how these 401ks are great and blah, 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 it's a bunch of nonsense. You're never going to retire with a 401k. It's a sham. It really is. And one other thing. We are going to have a correction in the stock market between now and the summer of about 20% or more. That's going to be a terrific thing, just like what happened to Reagan. Exactly. You'll see, I'm going to be right about this. But the beautiful thing with my chart, just like this woman who listened to Kramer and told her to buy AZO, and it went up about 8-9%, but he forgot to tell her when to get out. Okay, forgot to tell her when to get out. You never hear him when he makes all those picks on his show. Here's when you get out, right? You ever hear him say, here's where you get out? Well, that's what I do. That's why I designed my chart, so it shows you when the institutions are leaving. She gave it all back. She gave it all back. Where she could have gotten out right on time, it turned red, and then even made more money shorting it. That's how you're going to make money, not in a 401k. Just try it for a month. It works. It does work. Now, when we get this, here's what's going to be a beautiful thing. When this market corrects, remember, the biggest companies, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Cisco, Oracle, and then you got the other companies like Johnson & Johnson, Amgen, Guild Sciences, Coca-Cola. They have, if you put them all together, they have about $1 trillion in cash overseas that they're leaving there so they don't have to pay taxes on it. Trump's telling them, why don't you bring at least $200 billion of that $1 trillion back here, and we're going to cut the tax rate so you're almost paying no taxes on it. When the market collapses, that's what they'll do, and they'll bring it back in, and guess what they're going to do with that money? Those companies, they're going to buy all their own shares back. They're going to use the money to do stock buybacks. That's what they're going to do, all stock buybacks. So what we do is we're going to watch these companies between now and the summer, and when they start turning red and they start collapsing, we'll catch them on the way down. And when they start turning green, when they start putting their money back in, the money they take the $200 billion from overseas and put it back in and buy their own stock, we'll catch it on the way up. You don't have to know anything about the stock. You just don't have to know anything about the stock. So here's the number. 877-600 gang, my system works. Try it for a month. If it doesn't, just go away. That's all. You know, we're talking about Larry Summers and these people. I wanted to also tell you, do you know that Greenspan, back when we had the when we had the Glass-Steagall Act, you could not combine savings companies with insurance companies. You either had to be a savings and loan, you had to be a commercial investment banker like Goldman Sachs, or you had to be insurance. You could not combine them all because they didn't want you using that money, putting it all under one roof to use it to speculate. And that's what they did, and the stock market crashed in 1929. Because think about it, you're an insurance company, you're an investment banker, you're all under one roof, and they could use all those deposits, all that money to go speculate wildly. And the market crashed, they put Glass-Steagall in. So so Greenspan, he's now he's now head of the Federal Reserve. So he gets a call from Sandy Weil, who owns Travel Insurance. He wants to buy Citi. Well, guess what? It's against the law. So he cuts a deal, and he gives him a 1-year exemption, which we find out later he got $1.3 million. Remember I told you got $500,000 for writing a letter to the bank regulators for Lincoln Savings, for Keaton to say to the regulators, lay off. I looked at his books. Everything is fine. Of course, 5 years later, he went to jail. Keaton went to jail because the thing blew up. And by the way, the difference then is all those bankers, they went to jail. Everyone went to jail, and they also had to pay all the money they pulled out. They had to give back. Unlike Eric Holder, that thief, nobody went to jail. But can you imagine what Greenspan did? So Greenspan writes that letter, gets $500,000. Now he's the head of the Federal Reserve. He says to Sandy Weil, don't worry, we're going to Summers and Geithner and myself and Rubin, we're going to get rid of Glass-Steagall. So give me $1.5 million. Okay, I'll give you an exemption for a year so you can go buy Citigroup, which he did. And then, of course, right after that, they passed the Glass-Steagall. Are you kidding me? None of these people went to jail. And they're complaining about Clinton? I mean, they're complaining about Obama? I mean, Trump, who he surrounds himself with? And here's what's really wild. When Obama gets in office, he puts the same people, Larry Summers, Geithner, Rubin, Greenspan, all these same people around him. What are you, nuts? This is crazy. So, my point in all this is that, look, that's why we use charts. Because the politics is what affects the stock market. You can't pay attention to all the politics. You can't pay attention to all the stock market. It's impossible. I do it for my gang. But it's the chart. The bottom line, follow the money. By the way, I've been wanting to play this. I'm going to play it now. I got a few minutes. The difference between when O'Reilly interviewed Obama when he became president in 2009 at the Super Bowl and when he interviewed Trump. Let's start out with Trump.
When your head hits the pillow, do you ever say to yourself, I can't believe I'm here. I cannot believe that I am the president of the United States. When I wasn't a politician, I didn't start out this way. That wasn't my life goal. Does that ever come into your mind?
Well, I must tell you, the other day I walked into the main entrance of the White House. And I said to myself, this is sort of amazing. Or you walk into Air Force One. It's like a surreal experience in a certain way, but you have to get over it because there's so much work to be done, whether it's jobs or other nations that truly hate us. You have to get over it.
Now, here's a businessman. Listen to the businessman. I will compare him to an educator. And a neighborhood organizer who his first Super Bowl interview, just like Trump's. Compare.
New home, and then we chatted about making the adjustment to life in the White House. Has there been any surprise in terms of life in the White House? Is something that the White House has you didn't think they had or doesn't have you thought they did have?
You know, the bowling alley doesn't seem to be improving my game. That's the one
have you
thing
used
I noticed. We did. We took the kids down.
You're playing horse on the basketball court.
Playing horse on the basketball court. There's a horseshoe pitch out there, so I'm going to have to practice that a little bit.
Can you imagine the difference in maturity? Now you got an adult. You got an adult in the White House. Can you imagine that's who we had for 8 years, this young kid who had no experience, who organized block dances? I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? And he surrounded himself with the same crooks as Bill Clinton did. That was why you lost your house. The stock market is the best place in the world. I'm begging you. If you want to retire, you want to sleep at night when you buy a stock, join my gang. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG. Invest in yourself first, the $39.95. Invest in yourself. Follow me. At the end of 30 days, what have you lost? You got an opportunity. Stop listening to these people on these financial stuff. Stop reading Barron's. Stop reading the Wall Street Journal. Any information in there is old. It's old news. Join my gang. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. They're waiting for your call right now here in Sarasota, not somewhere in China or somewhere.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. To many, the stock market is shrouded